And we are back with Inside the Show. You know the deal. I'm Scuffy. He's Cubes. Cubes. Wow. I said Cubes there. He's Cougs. And welcome back. And this is Inside the Show. We started off on a great note right there. But welcome on back. It's been about 2 weeks. And you know what? It's funny that I say it's been like 2 weeks here, Cougs, because it's kind of been how it's like our show's been hovering around. I mean, if you've been listening to Inside the Show, our show is basically hover around MLB show content, and then we give our honest review of it, where we see on our team, where we want to see going forward, and much of that. But it feels like we only have time to do like a show every 2 weeks by how the content is being dropped on today. And I mean, we've been playing the extreme, which we'll get to momentarily, but this kind of just hit me is like, we've been doing bi-weekly shows just based on how much content we've been getting through MLB The Show. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. This is not me saying it's a bad thing. It's just, this is how it's been this year. It's been a little bit more adjustment. It's like we get all this content at once, and then all of a sudden it kind of, you get to play with it and then kind of goes dry. Now, there is a caveat of where, for me, that's fine. I'm a player that, doesn't get to hop on every single day. I get to, I play when I can. It's like one hour here, 1 hour there. And that's just because in real life just gets inevitable. But for the hardcore players, the content creators, it just, sometimes it feels like, all right, what's next? And you kind of just don't know what's going to happen here or happen there. And it's, it's, you can see it both ways. I don't know. For you being someone that plays this game, creates content around it, how do you feel around how the content's been? I mean, mostly we saw it in set 2, and now we're kind of seeing set 3.
Can they hear me in the chat, by the way, Scuffy?
Yeah, it was freaking Discord. You're good now.
Oh, it was Discord.
Yeah, we're good. No, we're good. They can hear you now.
Okay, we're good. Yeah, all right.
It might be a little bit too loud now, but we're good. It's always audio issues. We've been doing this for 4 seasons and can never get it right. I'm sorry.
It's always something.
This is why we do. Hey, we're live, right? This is another advertisement. Yeah. We do this live on Thursdays. So if you're not following us on YouTube or sub to YouTube, we do this live on Thursdays. You get to listen here first. But anyway, Cougs, go back to your point.
Okay, anyway, like just for anybody that didn't hear, like very quick rundown, I feel like the content this year has a lot of highs and a lot of lows. I feel like when the game adds all that content at the start of the season, it is really exciting. There's a lot of stuff to do. But then after that, the lulls in the content, I think, are really where people are a little frustrated, because it's like, yeah, in theory, it's cool to kind of give some people time to grind out this content. And, I'm in the minority by completing a Player of the Month set on the first day it comes out. I'm in the minority by completing Extreme the first day it comes out. I absolutely recognize that, but I don't feel like, what is it, 10 days between an Extreme content drop and a Player of the Month drop there's just nothing there. I just feel like that lull needs to be, there needs to be something there, a Diamond Duo, even putting out the tops now from the one that just came out on last Friday, just to give somebody something to do. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't know. It feels like it's a weird structure they have, because I'm sure when you look at all the numbers together, we're probably getting like more cards than we've ever gotten. Like like when you really break it all down, yeah, that's probably what's going on. But it doesn't feel like it with the major lulls that we're getting between these big content drops. So I don't know. It's a weird year right now. I'm still having fun with the game, but I do wish there was more consistent content week to week that we kind of know for sure we'll be getting.
Yeah. And one thing that we were kind of talking about right before we start, because we didn't really realize, is it feels like dynamic duos just disappeared. We don't know where it went.
Yeah.
Like
It's hard to say.
Yeah, I don't know. Because we're used to getting it like at least twice a week, and they usually give the heads up, especially when they did headliners. We know it usually goes to like headliner 50, and then indicating this is the last one, and then that's it. We haven't even heard anything. I don't know. Maybe it's just let Extreme breathe a little bit, and we could jump right into it. Extreme program dropped 2 weeks ago. We were live right before it dropped. Now that you had the 2 weeks to sit on it, how was this Extreme, and and how much do you just have a gripe against the Atlanta Braves outfield?
Oh my god, dude. Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting program. So I think this Extreme program it's not as easy as 22. 22 by far was the easiest Extreme program when it came to the difficulty of the moments and how you could earn all the stars or all the progress in the program. 19 and 20 were still significantly more difficult with just the difficulty of the moments alone. I found a lot of these moments in 23 to be pretty doable, especially some of the multi-game moments. You're able to dashboard if something happens. If you dashboard out of the game quickly, you can avoid that loss for like the Billy Wagner moment or like the Adley moment or whatever it is. You have some that I know people are having some trouble with. Like I know some people are having trouble hitting the 3 home runs in a row against the Yankees. I had some trouble with the Adolis Garcia 4 extra base hits moment, but I finally got it done. Of course, you've got the Ohtani moment. But yeah, I mean, these moments were not as bad, with an asterisk right there for now. I thought the missions were, solid. I thought the showdown, I think the showdown is actually really hard. I got it done on my first try, which was nice, but I feel like not a lot of like casual players or players who might not be as dialed into the game. I don't really feel like a lot of people are going to complete that showdown. You have to face, I think, Nolan on Hall of Fame. You have to face Gossage on Hall of Fame. You have to face Randy Johnson on Legend. Like, I feel like people are going to struggle with that.
25. I decided to just try and go right to start. And I was like, let me see. 25 runs. And then I realized it's 25 runs. And it's Randy on Legends. Like, no, okay. No.
Good luck with that.
Nope.
Yeah.
But, go back to your point.
Yeah, I mean, overall, though, I think they did a good job. There's a lot of ways to earn program points. There's a lot of different ways you could do it. They added mini seasons to it now. They added, collections from the event and stuff like that. But I think the elephant in the room right here for me is this final moment that's on the list, the Ellie De La Cruz moment where you have to hit for the cycle.
Yep.
What, Stuffy, before Extreme came out, I went back and played all the moments, or not all of them, but I went through all the moments from MLB 19 and MLB 20. And I can confidently say, I don't think there is a moment that relies more on luck than this Ellie De La Cruz cycle moment. Because we had cycle moments in the previous games, but they were at Polo Grounds. Yeah. We had 4 home run moments, but, it was at a regular MLB stadium or whatever. Hitting a triple in Cincinnati is extremely difficult for so many reasons. Number one, the moment is on All-Star, and that Ellie De La Cruz is literally too good for that moment. Everything he hits is a home run. It's hit way too hard. The triple, you got to hit it to the gap, and then you have to hope that the Atlanta Braves 99 overall like everything outfield will miss something. Like you have to hope that they get a bad animation or a bad throw. Like the triple relies so much on luck in that particular moment. It makes it so frustrating. That is the only moment in extreme history that I have not been able to do. I
Oh
gave up.
wow. Okay.
I
I
finished
mean,
the
and there's
program doing other stuff.
yeah, I mentioned the Eddie Rosario catch that they did against you. The
Yeah, no,
backwards
that was
Jim Edmonds catch. It's basically, it's the CPU. What do you expect from the CPU when we meme about any like showdown or any like offline moment and you're like, just the CPU is just ridiculously good. That is like number one poster of what happens. It feels like your hopes is like, because I've been there. Your hope is like, all right, this is going to get down finally, and then all of a sudden they pull this. It's Jim Edmonds, Andrew Jones-esque type of catch, and you're like, you got to be freaking kidding me.
and you know what the worst thing about that was, Scuffy? That was after 14 hours straight of playing moments. That happened at like 2 a.m.
Oh,
And once that
I've
happened, I was like, you know what? I'm going to bed.
yeah.
I am not doing this anymore.
On to another day. But yeah, going back to your point, that Ella De La Cruz card is just too good. It was just too good. I just see everyone just getting perfect, and just hitting nothing but home runs. Even like getting the singles sometimes was hard for people.
Yep.
It just, but yeah. But to go through the other moments, we saw the perfect game with the Matt King. King. That was, I don't know. I feel like a lot of people actually did all right with that. I feel like
It
might have
wasn't
been
nearly as
long,
bad as it thought.
but once you start getting in the groove, and that Matt King card is pretty decent, especially for having the meta pitches and then go from there. But we can also go over the cards that we got. We mentioned Marte, we mentioned Piazza last time. Now we have Matt Cain, and then we also have Billy Wagner, as we mentioned before.
Billy Wagner, yep.
And then, of course, when we were discussing before, will they eventually switch it to be core cards? Because that was like the main feedback. However, instead of that, they dropped a core card to be in the final, and that is none other than Ken Griffey Jr., another center fielder, another outfielder. But then again, he is core, and his card looks pretty damn good. I mean, 110, 105, 125, 125, vision at 100, and then his fielding is going to be good as well. So I definitely enjoyed seeing Griffey being a core card and being part of the program.
Yeah, no, it was nice. And I think they're still trying to be very careful with how many core cards they actually give out because, with the sets and seasons model, if every collection reward or every guy at the end of a program was core, you wouldn't really be like changing up your team very much because you could use those core cards through everything. So, they're trying to be very cautious with how they give core cards, but I think at this point they can start to become a little bit more, I don't know if aggressive is the right word, but they can throw that core card out a lot more because going in to season 4, at that point, there are going to be no more restrictions. Yeah, you won't be able, it'll be set 4 and set 5, or I'm sorry, set 3 and set 4 in season 4. And then in season 5, it'll be set 5 and set 4, but then in season 6 everything is active. So really by the end of season 3, this is the last season where cards that come out in this season are not going to be usable at some point down the line. Anything that comes out in season 4 and beyond, you don't even have to worry about restrictions to your team or anything like that. So I think they can be a little bit more active in giving out these core cards. But it was nice to see that because there was a lot of community feedback saying, hey, this is the hardest program in the game. You got to give us something here. Make it a core card, at least at the end. A lot of people wanted all the cards to be core, which I don't really feel like needed to happen. No. But I'm happy they listened because I have a feeling they probably anticipated making this Ken Griffey Jr. a set 3 card at first. So I'm happy they kind of went back on that and said, you know what? Yeah, it is hard. This is the perfect time to give a core card. One thing I do wish is I wish they would add the Griffey to the GOAT collection. I don't know why he's not in there. But yeah, I mean, it feels like kind of the perfect guy to put into that collection, but I don't know. Yeah.
Well, either way, it's good to have it. I mean, and like you said, it takes time to do this extreme pro. How long did you think it took you for like completing it?
In terms of game hours
or getting game hours to get up to Griffey.
Probably like, well, if it took me like 14 hours for the moments and then probably like 45 minutes for the showdown. So, maybe like 18 hours total.
That's a lot.
With the mini seasons grind in there.
Yeah. I mean, that's a lot, but I mean, it's worth it in the end. Because I feel like all
Oh
those
yeah,
cards were good. Even the first one. I mean, you get the Marte right from the rip. You do the showdown right from the rip. You get Marte, and you can plug him in your lineup right then
exactly.
and there in ranked. So I haven't done anything because I'm not trying to stress out. So if you look at my screen, nothing's done. I tried to do the showdown. I was like, you know what? It's not for me. I'll just deal with the cards I already have. Because I just try to find cards off the market, like cheap cards off the market that I want to try, and go from there and see how it goes. But then again, I didn't want to touch rank, because we mentioned last time we had the two-way glitch, that was part of the game, and just this past week or earlier this week, it was either late last week or earlier this week, we had game update number 14, which actually patched up the two-way glitch. And you will no longer see John Donaldson, Shohei Ohtani go back to back on you with full stamina each game. Let me
Yeah.
say, we knew they were working on it. I'm just happy it's finally implemented and I could finally go back to ranked. I haven't done it yet because I've just been playing BR because I was just so frustrated with the two-way glitch. But I'm excited that that is no longer an issue and we'll be able to go back. So kudos to SES. We knew that was going to be in place. It's just a matter of when. And to be honest, to get it before set 4 drops, before, we all know Madden comes out next week, so they're going to have a little competition with other sports games. It's good time for it to drop.
Yeah, for sure. And it's also a really good time for that patch with who the Lightning Player of the Month card is, because you give us a lefty, we kind of want to use that card, and if you have to face the best lefty in the game every single time, it's kind of frustrating. So good timing on the fix, definitely.
Definitely good timing on the fix. And you know what else they did that made put a little grin to my face is the PS5 tournaments. They've been getting underway a little bit. They've been doing the community series tournaments. Started with Scan, and it's $5,000 prize pool. I love that. Continue doing that.
Yeah.
Continue giving the community a way to bring together and broadcast esports. And they were able to do that. They did one with Scan, and then another one with Wiz, I believe. I assume they're going to do with all the esports ambassadors. I don't know. That's not confirmed. That's just me speculating. Which is awesome to see, to get the ball rolling again. And now they also announced the dates of the new championship series dates with the qualifiers. They believe it begins on next weekend. I don't think it's this weekend. I believe it's next weekend. It starts with the qualifiers, and then the grand finale is October 1st. But one big thing that they did in the patch updates is that creative stadiums will no longer be eligible for these PS5 tournaments. For the championship series. And thank freaking God, man. Holy moly. I couldn't imagine like the finals being played at Costco. I mean, there's still some minor league stadiums that I don't like, but we don't have to go there. Beggars can't be choosers at this point. But I'm glad that feedback was heard, and I'm glad they're getting rid of that for the comp play. Now they just need to do caps. That's it. And I'm good.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Yeah, that's next.
Yeah, so either way, that was a good thing, addition that they did. And they did some other, back end stuff to avoid freezes, I believe. I don't think there was anything else that was big. I think the biggest thing was the two-way glitch. So I'm happy about that.
Yeah, no, that was really the only thing I wanted, like addressed.
Yeah.
Like I'm sure there's some other things in those patch notes. Like, I'll be honest, I really didn't read past the fixing of the two-way glitch because that was all I cared about. I actually feel like the game overall plays really well this year. It's just a couple of those. Yeah, it's a couple of those little things like the Ohtani and Donaldson bug, and things like that will kind of make the game frustrating to play. But when it comes to the pure gameplay, I'm having a lot of fun just actually playing the game this year. You know what I mean?
I'm with you. It got me feeling. It got the ranked, because you know me, the past, 2 years, I've been like, I don't want to play ranked. It just feels, I don't know. It just feels kind of obsolete to continue. But that's a different story because that's just the grind and what you get rewarded for. But the gameplay just keeps it at it, and I'm like, I'm having a lot of fun playing ranked until, of course, the glitch happened. But my God, yeah, the gameplay feels really good. It really does.
Yeah.
Although I did play a 15-12 BR game earlier today, and that's just, BR in a nutshell. I was 10-3. I was down by 7 in the third. Come all the way back to tie it. He gets 2 in the fourth, and then I was able to get 3 in the. It just, sometimes, but it felt very good. That's the thing. Like, I know All-Star could be that like arcade type of mode, but it feels so good because I do feel like I'm getting more rewarded than not.
Yeah. And that's all you want. You want to get rewarded. You want to get good results when you get good input. That's what it's all about. Yes, we're playing a baseball video game, but it's still a video game. If I'm playing Call of Duty and I don't miss a shot on my opponent, I want to get rewarded and at least get the kill, if not, whatever. Like, if in MLB, if you get 5 perfects in a row and they're all outs, like, that's very frustrating. Luckily, I feel like the perfect batting average this year, or like in my own experience, I do feel like I'm getting rewarded a lot for perfect swings and stuff like that. Just overall, I really feel like the gameplay is in the best spot that it's been in at least a few years.
I say
like
since
it just
probably 2019-ish.
Yeah, 100%. Like I feel like the game is just solid right now. I'm not saying it doesn't have issues or it can't be tweaked or whatever, but like I feel like there's a reason that we haven't seen a major gameplay patch the entire year. I feel like the community is liking where the game is for the most part, and I feel like SDS is seeing the data and seeing the community reaction to how the game is playing, and overall, I think both sides are kind of on there. If we could get the content maybe a little bit more engaging, during the seasons, and we don't have these major lulls, then, I feel like we could have a really, really good, kind of system. Even if that means they're going to play around with some things and kind of fine tune it going into MLB 24, assuming they keep the same content model. Like this has a lot of potential for MLB The Show going forward, and I just hope they can figure it out on the content side.
Yeah, and with it being the first time they're doing this structure, it's just all about adjustments right now. So hopefully we'll see that for the remainder of the year. But speaking of content, we did get content yesterday. And Cougs, first a question I get: did you go back to back discovering the Player of the Month?
No, I did not.
I think there's a little rival going around with you and Destroyer now, right?
Yeah, he got judged.
He got judged, so it's 2 versus 2 right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so August coming around. You only got 2 months left. You got August and September.
We'll
one of you gonna get 3 or maybe 4. But yeah. So anyway, it's a fun thing to look at, like from the outside in. But yeah, yesterday we got the July Player of the Month. We thought it was gonna be Belly, and it was Belly. And you mentioned it on the tweet yesterday. Probably he's multi-time Player of the Month Lightning card. I think 3 times, right?
Yeah, I mean 3. I would say like 3.5 almost, because if we count MLB 20, them re-releasing the card. But yeah, he's got the most Lightning cards out of anybody in MLB The Show history. He has 3 going back to June of 2017, April of 2019, and now July of 2023. I'm not sure if anybody else has 2. I maybe Matt Chapman has another one. I don't remember. I'd have to go through and look. But yeah, Cody Bellinger, 3 different Lightning cards in the history of MLB The Show.
I think he's the only one.
He's the king of Player of the Month.
I think he's the only one with multiple. I can't think of anyone else with multiple. Matt Chapman only has 1, I believe.
I'll try to look and see if I can find anything. But yeah,
I'm going to bring up the Cody Bellinger attributes now. The big question was, we knew if you looked at his stats throughout the month, you knew that was going to happen. But everyone was basing it off from last month with Judge, and that was his vision. Everyone was like, "Oh, he's going to be great," but his vision is going to be low. However, this wasn't the case. This might be, depending on what you prefer in a card, this might be the best Bellinger card we ever had. The reason I think it is. Well, I like it the best because of the contact being 125, 125, and then clutch being 125. He doesn't have the 125 power like we saw in his previous finest card, but still 125, 125, 104, 101. that'll play easily. And then, of course, he has 85 speed. His fielding is 90, 91 arm, 85 accuracy, and then reaction is 93. But either way, hey, this Belly card, it's funny because we go from just getting the Cora Griffey card, and then all of a sudden we get this another lefty center fielder with another great card with being the player of the month, Cody Bellinger.
Yeah. Yeah, no, he's very good. It's hard for me to say that this card is better than the finest from MLB 19 just because if I had to build a dream Diamond Dynasty squad, I think that finest card from 19 would be on there. So this player of the month has to go insane for me to even think about saying he's better, or at least say I like him better. I don't know. But yeah, no, he's very good, very solid. And like I said, now that the two-way bug was patched at just the right time, I feel like a lot of people are really going to be liking Belly. And you know, it's kind of tough. Like, if you had to look at both cards side by side, do you think Cody Bellinger or Shohei Ohtani is the better Lightning card? What do you think?
All right, let's pull them up. Let me see I got to remind myself what the thing is with Ohtani, though. He's a two-way player.
I know, but that's kind of leading into what I want to ask you. So just attributes alone and what it all brings to the table. Do you think Ohtani or Cody Bellinger is better?
I'm going to go Ohtani because he's a two-way player.
Okay. Now, the only thing is that I feel like this Ohtani card, I feel like the one from the World Baseball Classic, I kind of feel like he was a better pitcher.
Okay.
I think the fact that this Ohtani, like the attribute-wise, Ohtani clears 100%. But when you break it down, I feel like this Ohtani pitcher card, the par on his pitches is so big.
Oh, okay.
He can miss his spot so much. It's almost I feel like this Ohtani is way easier to hit than the World Baseball Classic card. So for me, it's almost like I don't even necessarily want to use Ohtani as a pitcher that month or that much. So it's like then it's just head to head. Would I rather use Bellinger or Ohtani as a hitter? They're both very good. I think they're very comparable. So I'm just curious what people think. Like, Ohtani is my favorite Lightning card. I'm just saying, like, if you had to like get a spot in your lineup, do you think Ohtani is worth it with him being a little bit more hittable on that card? Is it worth it for the bat alone? I'm just curious what people think about it.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a debate. Again, I asked chat. We have some mix. Some say Belly, some say Ohtani. So I guess it really depends on what you prefer, right?
Yeah.
It's just it's quite hard to give up like Ohtani when Shohei when you just could pitch with him and then hit with him as well. Although I haven't played with the Belly yet. I feel like I need to play with the Belly. Now, in the debut game for you, how'd the Belly do?
2 for 5. Whoa. 2 for 5. I had a triple and a single. I should have been 3 for 5 with a triple, a single, and a double. My double got robbed. I hit it so well, but the guy made a running catch at the wall. I don't know how it was out. But I did have a bases loaded 1-out opportunity where I did ground into a double play to the first baseman. So he did well. The swing is fantastic. I wish I could have. I wish I could have got that big swing when I needed it, though.
Yeah, I feel it. But we could go. I mean, so far, I feel like all the player month cards have been, for the Lightning card, I should say, have been great. I mean, for what it is, and now them having the 99 attribute. I know a lot of people kind of critique the vision, especially when it was Judge, even for Ohtani. I mean, Ohtani's 61. But still, to have these cards be the overalls that they should be, especially being the player of the month, has been fun to see and been fun to play with.
Yeah.
But still, we haven't gotten over through the program itself. So I'm going to run through all these cards real quick, just saying the name and overalls, and then we'll pick out a few that intrigue us and go from there. But we'll start with the captain cards. We'll go from left to right. Walker Buehler, 95 captain card. Then Grail, from the Astros. Well, he's a Marlin now, but having the captain card from the Astros. And then Steven Matz gets, is this a starter? Yeah, it's a starting pitching for a monthly card. It could go right to my all-time Mets team. J.P. Crawford, Gio from the Cardinals, Javier, who they had Azole as the pitcher when they announced on social media, but they changed it up real quick. So good. that had to been like a little fire they had to put out to correct the card art. And then we get Contreras, who actually have in my BR run right now. He's pretty damn good. Savelli now a Ray, but now showing that he's when he was on the Guardians. Taylor Ward. Who else am I missing here? Jaron Duran. And then we got Isaac Paredes, Joe Jimenez, Julian from the Twins, Fairbanks, who still doesn't get the sinker, by the way. And then we get another Red Sox card with Tristan Casas. I know I'm botching the name. Chaz from the Astros. We also get this card right here. Intrigues me. I know I said I was going to name the names, but Howell from the Brewers with that H per 9.
Piamps?
Yeah. And he came a long way. He used to be a moonshot legend. He used to be a common stud reliever to use in the moonshot event. And he came a long way. He started pitching very well, and now he has a 98. Was it 98? Yeah, 98 diamond. So and then we got Randall, who it's funny because Evan mentioned in this off podcast. It shows an Angels pitcher, but the month that he had to get this card, he was a Rocky. So they gave him the Angels card instead of Rockies. And then we get a Whit Merrifield with max power out of nowhere. With the 125 power, Tyler Glasnow being the third Rays to get a card. And then, of course, Bobby Witt Jr. One of those 98 cards that, we had a lot of 98 cards that I don't think it rivals Belly, but still be the upper talent or upper tier type of card. And this Bobby Witt Jr. is right there.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. Out of those cards, any other cards that out of the player of the month that intrigue you? We already talked about the Brewers reliever, Bobby Witt.
Yeah, I don't know. I think the hitters are solid. The fact that we have a Whit Merrifield card with 125 power is wild. I am not that crazy about a lot of the pitchers that we got. You know, Tyler Glasnow, 98 overall. You get the captain boost with the Yuli Gurriel. He's going to be, pretty solid overall, but the pitch mix just isn't going to really be there. I feel like there's a lot of players in this program that have certain splits, like Chas McCormick, 125, 125 against lefties. Yep. Tristan Casas, 125, 125 against righties. Randall Grichuk, 125, 125 against lefties. It feels like there's a lot of almost platoon type players in this, and not a lot of pitchers that I really feel are God Squad eligible, or not eligible, but not really guys that really fit into the top meta. I think if you're doing this program, you're looking to change your team, I think you're really looking at either Bobby Witt or Cody Bellinger for the most part. And with the amount of good shortstops we have in the game, it's probably just Cody Bellinger. So I think in terms of overall value, I feel like the June monthly awards was a little bit better, because we got Christian Yelich, we got a Michael Harris card, we got, I don't know. I just feel like overall the cards in this one were not as the henchman players were not as exciting to me as some of the other ones.
No, I agree. I think you nailed it where they looked more platoon. Even Contreras is the same thing. He has 125 against lefties. And it's just you plug and play there. But for me, I love using Cervelli, his silver card for BR. I know it probably won't translate over well into Hall of Fame or Legend, but I'm still going to try out that card because I'm a sucker for small pars, because he usually has a nice small par. He has a nice mix, so I like to see that. And who else I'll eventually like to see? That I don't know how it's going to get dropped, but the no-hitter that we got last night with Michael Lorenzen from the Phillies, his first start in Philadelphia with his family in the stands to watch it, and he goes and no hits the Washington Nationals on 124 pitches. I think it was like 124. You know me, before the All Star content came out, I was actually looking forward to Lorenzen card, who I actually use on my way to rank this year. Just because of his pitch mix, and then he usually has that small par, and I'm very happy to see. Hopefully, we get a 99 card for him, just like we see with Jermon from the Yankees.
Yep.
So,
yeah, I hope they put it in the tops now. I hope they do that. Which I feel like they probably will. I don't think it's going to be like because we were expecting two of those type of cards with the Domingo Herman and then the Ellie De La Cruz cycle. We kind of thought both of those would be in like the tops now, and then they ended up making Ellie the chase card. So I don't think Michael Lorenzen is chase card worthy or chase pack card worthy.
No.
So I feel like we will see him in tops now, and I think that card could actually be pretty good. That Michael Lorenzen is like he could be sneaky good with the pitch mix that he has on his current cards.
Mhm.
You add a 99 with like max hits per 9, and I would assume max clutch and whatever. Like he could be a very solid card. So I'm curious to see what they do with him.
Yeah, same here. Right now we could get a glimpse of it because he's supercharged, which we knew it was happening, and it does have 125 H per 9s. So you like to see that. So I might actually give that a shot in ranked now, since with the two-way glitch being gone. But speaking of chase packs, I feel like we're due for one too. I feel like we had Ellie for so long, and we usually get like two per set, and so far it's just been Ellie.
Yeah, I have a feeling we might get one tomorrow. Although I feel like they would have kind of like advertised that a little bit more on the schedule. I hope it's not just Ellie and that's the only chase pack player we get, because that would be kind of lame. But yeah, you're absolutely right. I've been thinking about that too. We are due for another chase pack player sometime soon. So hopefully tomorrow, with all the other new stuff coming out, we'll talk about some of that stuff in the few minutes. But yeah, it makes sense to get a new one.
Yeah, without a doubt, and especially with the XP program being the way it is right now, where you could get one from doing. Sorry, just work is calling me right now. When you could get one from the XP reward program and be able to, if you pull it, of course, but the diamond choice or the luck of there. Sorry. Anyway, let's rephrase that. Anyway, I'm going to redo that here, chat. So bear with me. But yeah, to go back to, it would be nice to have it where, especially with the XP program, you had the rewind and you could get that choice pack from there. So anyway, you mentioned just before ranked seasons tomorrow. And then we didn't say a new event yet, so you still could play. And speaking of events, before we go on rank seasons, I actually want to bring this up. It really feels now with the events having the 12 win, that's where, I mean, if you are a decent player and you like playing for these streaks like you do in BR, I think events is where it's at right now. Just the way
that's absolutely the place to go.
How valuable is to get that 12 win. And you don't have to go 12-0. You could go 12-1 and still get it. But yeah, that Javi Baez went up to at least, he was more than De La Cruz. He was at like 600K, and now
he was at 600K
I don't know where
for a
he's
while
at right now, but still,
I think he's around 450.
That's still a lot of stubs. Although you had to go through the pain of playing at polo. That's the only thing.
Yes, yeah, you do have to deal with that aspect of it, which I'll let you decide if you want to do that.
No,
I don't.
Yeah, I don't want to do that. It intrigues me. I do want to applaud. I do like have them doing an extreme event and making it a Hall of Fame. I still wish there was more events that are like in Hall of Fame. But that's just a personal opinion.
Yeah,
but
I like the Hall of Fame aspect. I don't like the stadium locked at polo. I feel like the game doesn't play well there. I don't know. It's weird.
Would you rather there? You had to choose one, either there or Costco.
On Hall of Fame, I'm taking Costco all day.
Costco all day.
Yeah, because I mean, you get cheap home runs either way. Like if you hit it down the line, I don't know. I feel like
Polo just
Part of
puts
the
like
reason polo is so frustrating is because you get that good swing, that perfect to center field, and you don't hit a home run like that. It's
yeah.
very frustrating.
No, I agree. I'm with you. And it's like the mental aspect of playing at polo. You're like, oh God, here we go. Polo in the rain.
Yep.
I remember it just, or I don't even know you could set the weather, but usually like that's like the worst environment that I want to play in is polo in the rain.
Yeah.
But yeah, the event's still going to be going on, but we do get ranked seasons tomorrow, and then we get a special milestone program, which we haven't heard any news yet on either one of them. But to go, I don't even know what to expect for like these ranked seasons rewards now, because we're pretty much past the All-Star content. I would feel like.
Yeah. Well, they did say that this ranked season would be a very short one because this ranked season is only going to last until set 3 finishes. So it's only going to be like a 3-week ranked season. So I have no idea if that means they're going to make the rewards a little bit like underwhelming, or if, because if it's only 3 weeks, these are going to be more like rare type of rewards to get. Like less people are going to make World Series. So either the price is going to be a lot on these, or they're not going to be good enough for people to care. So I don't really know what we're going to get. I would assume it's probably just like card series that we already have, and then hopefully set 4 we start seeing some new stuff.
Yeah, the one thing they've been good about is each set they bring in new card series. So I expect a new card series for each set. So we'll see that there. But one other thing that intrigues me is the special milestone program, because that could be anything. I don't know. Was there any?
Well, no, we already know.
Oh,
we already know what it is.
Did I miss it? I must have missed it.
It is a jersey retirement thing. There is
just
a
like we saw with Fernando.
Yeah, I think that's the program we're getting.
Oh,
yeah,
that's true. We saw that in the video, and we never saw the card get dropped. Okay, so technically, I mean, I was saying this before with these. First off, I love it. I love how they could have use this as a milestone card, but this legit could be the best version of this player, because there's no attribute, like there's no year to go behind it, like the retro finest. There's no prime. It's just this card. He's number retired. I feel like you can make it the best version of this player.
So, yeah, no, like it, and the card art that we saw for Valenzuela is like beautiful. Like I love the card art that they have for it, because it's got, it's that milestone card art, but they've got it with a more visually vibrant, Dodger Stadium background. It's like the Mark McGwire home run milestone card. Like it's very, very clean in the design. So I'm excited to see what the attributes look like, because there's been, I think MLB 21, I could not touch that Fernando card. No. MLB 22, I hit him a lot better. So I don't really know what to expect. Hopefully he's more like the MLB 21 card when I use him. And hopefully he's more like the MLB 22 card when I face him, because oh my God, that Fernando was brutal back in 21. He threw a no-hitter against me. And I used
it's those Dodgers, man.
Yeah.
Kershaw did the same than me.
Yeah. I remember in 21 I unlocked 99 Nolan Ryan, really excited to use him. And then I go into ranked seasons, I face Fernando, and the guy throws a no-hitter against me. And so yeah, that was fun.
Yep, it's always fun. But someone in chat, Brian, thank you, indicated that this is this weekend. He gets his number retired in real life, so that makes sense. Coincides.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either. So that makes more sense. I'm curious, was there any other numbers retired this year that could be part of this program?
Not sure.
Keith was
we
last year.
Find out.
I could actually see. No, Keith got a set 2 card. Right? Yeah, you got a set 2. Oh, you could get a set 3 card. I'm just trying to think of recent retired numbers that got out.
Yeah, I can't think of anybody.
I don't know. Either way, yeah, I mean the possibilities are endless, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Very, very small side note. As I just in the past 15 minutes did all the research for it. Yes. Cody Bellinger has 3 monthly awards cards that are Lightning. James Paxton is the only other player to get another Lightning card. Going all the way back to that point. Twin was right. he had a lightning card in July of 2017 and then a lightning card in September of 2019. Very big side note, unrelated to what we're talking about now, but I did the research. I just went back and found them all. So
they were both with the Mariners, or no?
It had to be, right?
Yeah. I'm trying to
I don't think he got moved before that. Yeah.
Yeah, so both with Mariners. And yeah, the best we already saw a nice Paxton card this year with the set 2, Incognito. I loved using him. But yeah, that's funny. I'm curious, is Bellinger going to be the only one with 3 lightning cards? Like,
nobody else other than Paxton. Nobody else has to do it.
It's hard to get just one. Because it's
for real.
Because you got to think there's 2 player a month players throughout in the AO and in the AO and the NL, and they had to choose between the one. And then there's so much more variables into it. So to get 3, that's very impressive for Belly.
And now with this new content model, I think the guy that has the best chance to do it is Shohei.
Yes. Without
just
doubt.
Because they're gonna give 99s, they're gonna give he's got the best shot to do it out of anybody.
Yeah, I wonder if they had this content type of drop before, like the past years, how many Trout would have had?
So many,
right?
It'd be stupid.
I feel like he would arguably be the most lightning cards if we had this type of content format in the past. But either way,
yeah.
But yeah, so rank season special milestone program. And then I think that's all we're looking forward to next week. Hopefully we see the return of dynamic duos. Like you said, we might get a chase pack tomorrow. We don't know. I don't know if there's anything else that we're looking forward to besides that. There's nothing new on the schedule.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I feel like we'll get the schedule update after tomorrow. I was expecting to get it after Player of the Month, but I guess when we get the new rank season rewards, we get the new program, hopefully a new chase pack player, like then we'll start probably seeing what's coming up soon. I mean, how many online BR?
BR's next Tuesday.
Okay, so BR's next week, so we can expect that.
Yep.
And yeah, okay.
I know my BR program ends here, Cougs.
Yeah, I know you know that.
I gotta say, speaking of that, before, because I don't think we'll talk about it, but this program, that Michael Harris card, loved using that card. And of course, Mikado was great, but that Michael Harris has been my true MVP of that BR program. And then I haven't got to play with like the Bichette yet. That's I chose Bichette. I didn't get flawless, but I chose the program card. But either way, Michael Harris, I just want to give him a shout out before it ends on Tuesday because they go all away. It's crazy because those 85s and 89s just go away. I missed the MJ Melendez card that I used to use in BR, but we probably won't see that until set 6.
Yeah, probably not.
They'll all come back unless they add a new diamond round, which I doubt they do. Also, tomorrow we get a new roster update. So if you have any investments, roster update with attribute updates and downgrades will be tomorrow. We'll discuss that on the next episode. But yeah, Cooks, this kind of goes back to our first point of today's episode. We're kind of like just so you know, in that middle gray area between when content drops. Yes, we got the player a month yesterday, but before that, it's just and going forward, we know what to expect, but it feels like there should be a little bit more, or just a little bit more. Hey, this is just a little bit more to this. I don't know. I think we're nitpicking.
It's not even necessarily about having more. I think it's just about having it more consistent.
Yeah,
like if when we're saying more, we're not asking for an extreme program every week or something that requires hours and hours of grinding. It's just something worth looking at when it comes to content. Like, the Weekly Wonders program every Wednesday is not content. Like, that is just, here's 3 moments and earn some XP. That's not content. That's not what we're looking for. A Diamond Duo player in a pack once a week, twice a week, whatever. Give us new stuff to do, like I don't know, they change up programs or something. Yeah, I'm just trying to think of anything to kind of just have more, stuff that is engaging. Because right now, you get on, you grind out your monthly award program, you get your Cody Bellinger, you use them for a couple games. Like, okay, I did what I needed to do. Now I did my homework. Now I can wait until the next assignment is in there. And so that's kind of what it feels like this year.
Feels like a chore then, the way you're saying.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to complain because obviously I make content on the game and I'm going to do whatever it is anyway. But like talking about it as a player of the game, like it doesn't feel like the most enjoyable grind. And this just goes back to what we were talking about earlier. The game is very fun to play this year, and the gameplay, it's just the content has not been up to par with what we normally expect from MLB The Show.
I wish there was more online aspect. I love that there's offline aspect. Don't get me wrong, but just like more online aspect, because for someone like me that probably doesn't get as much playing time as others, I rather play P versus P. That's why I kind of just tend to just play BR when I can, when I have like 15 minutes, 20 minutes to spare. I just kind of wish there was more element where I could make a mission out of that helped me get more XP through other programs or something like that. Like imagine like you do BR and for extreme, I know this is just hypothetically, you do BR, there's an extreme program out, and in BR you have a choice, just not to do the traditional diamond, like the rounds, and you could do like silver or belows for your team. And if you win a game, you get extra stuff for your extreme because you're not doing like with the typical diamonds and stuff like that. I don't know, this is random, but
like the idea is there that we just want to see more.
It's kind of more engaging. Like, oh, I want to try that, and then it's going to help me out there too, and still be online. But yeah, I'm really missing. I mean, me personally, I'm really missing the online aspect of like connected modes. Like, yeah, online leagues is there, but it hasn't been updated since it dropped. I kind of wish there was more into that. I really do, because then you play with others, you play with community, and then you be flexible of that. Because we tried to do that. I tried to the past 2-3 years with myself and 20 other guys. It's not. It's just the mode itself is not engaging enough for us to consistently play it. So
yeah.
But anyway, I don't want to get into this tangent because we're at the end of the episode, but we'll have more to talk about next week because we will get more content with the ranked seasons, special milestone program, new BR before we get to the next episode, and who knows what else comes out. So we'll talk about that next week and more. Cougs, you should just do a speed run of the Ella de la Cruz, like see if you can do it.
I'm good.
Times.
I'm good on that. Thank you, though. I appreciate it. I'm not touching that moment unless I need to for a certain
for anyone else that's still doing moments, God bless you. May the force be in your favor, or may the SDS Godspeed. I don't know. Just good luck. But yeah, we'll be back here all next week. Thank you guys for listening. Be sure to follow us on YouTube. Remember, we're live on YouTube around 12 p.m., 1 p.m. Eastern. That is around 10 a.m., 9 a.m. Pacific time. YouTube.com/Inside the Show. Once again, YouTube.com/Inside the Show. Come to join the show, hang out. We'll be live over here. If you're listening to us on all podcast platforms, you'll hear us on every Friday. And be sure it's everywhere. Just every platform that you can think of on podcasts, it's there. So be sure to listen in there. And Kooks, it's been another fun week. Catch you next week. Be sure to follow him on Twitter, twitter.com/Kooks46. Find all socials there. I'm at Scuffy McGee TV. We'll catch you guys next time on Inside the Show. You guys have a good one. Peace out.